data doesn't lie, right? How many times have you heard that? Data doesn't lie, or data is king, or big data, or data is the best. I believe we put data on a pedestal. We put numbers and spreadsheets and all these things on a pedestal, and with regard to intuition and with regard to gut. And in this video, I want to talk about, I want this on my tombstone. Data doesn't lie, but data doesn't tell the whole story. And so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about why gut is important and how to cultivate a stronger sense of gut, a stronger sense of intuition. It'll be super quick, so let's jump right in. So I believe your gut is actually data. What does that mean? How can I say it's not data and it's data? Gut, for me, when I started thinking about this, and I've been meditating on it for a while, is like, it's actually unstructured data. So when you have an experience with somebody and something rubs you the wrong way in a conversation, or somebody you have a gut sense that maybe you're interviewing someone, they're not a good fit for the company or the team that you're on. A lot of times it's actually a series of events that have happened, that have transpired between you and that person, or that person and other people that you've observed, and it's unstructured. It's like they didn't let other people speak. They maybe spoke out of turn. They weren't an active listener. There's all these things, right? And then I realized, for me, I would have a gut reaction to somebody, because I had these non-quantitative interactions with somebody, or observations rather, and they're just unstructured. But once I started thinking, like, why do I have that feeling? I was able to start putting tally marks down of all the times that something went wrong, and started to create a direction and a quantitative value for that gut response. And so I think a lot of times your gut feelings about something are actually data, but just unstructured data that is maybe unconscious. So the next one is, data is extremely biased. So you have the collector, the collection system, you have whoever is presenting it or reporting on it, and all of those things go through a series of filters, and they can be used in all kinds of different ways. If you don't believe me, go work for a venture-backed startup and go to your Series A round or whatever. You'll see how a dollar gets stretched in terms of reporting for, trying to get investors to back your company. You'll see how things, exactly what I mean in terms of data doesn't tell the whole story. So that's a big one, is just understanding the human bias that's involved when data is being collected, presented, manipulated. It's huge. And the one that I really love, my last one before I jump into how to tune your gut, is, I got this from Anti-Fragile, the book Anti-Fragile by Taleb, I think is his name, Nassim Taleb. And he talks about this with regard to institutions, academic institutions, and education. But data is very domain specific. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you're looking at a set of data, right? If you think about Fukushima and the events that happened there, data is really good at saying, this is the from here to here is the level at which earthquakes or events of this nature happen. They happen from here to here. But what happens is, we know that there's always an event that's an outlier outside of that, which Fukushima was. And it's the same thing with Hurricane Sandy and all these other things. And so data is domain specific within this small range, within a small topic. And so things that become an outlier outside of that expected range of events or incidents to occur, it's not a good predictor for that. And in the book Anti-Fragile, he talks about how, in that sense, it's a fragile measurement. Data can be fragile when it's used in that way. And so I'm saying that gut is a very powerful determiner, and I think people should pay attention to it. Now, what I want to transition to is how can you pay better attention to your gut? How can you be more aware? For me, as I was saying earlier, when I was looking at my gut and realizing that it was unstructured data, that was actually during this process of meditating and journaling. And so number one is, you have to turn down the external volume. I believe you do this by meditation. You turn down external volume, you turn up your internal volume. When you have quiet time, you have meditation, you set that apart. You're not listening to podcasts. You're not visual stimuli coming in, you don't have audio stimulus coming in, you don't have all these things you're stressed and worried about, you can start to sit with your thoughts, sit with yourself, and start to become more aware of how you feel about certain things, how you respond to certain things, how certain things don't make sense to you, and maybe they make sense to other people. You start to become more in touch with yourself. Another way to do this is journaling. So journaling, why it's powerful is it helps you articulate and understand who you actually are, how events help you, like how events actually make you feel. And what's really cool about this is if you've done it for any period of time, you can see how you progress and change over time, which is a whole nother video, but I think that is the core purpose of journaling, is to see how your present self is different from your past self, how far you've come, and then to use that to leverage getting closer to your future self. So journaling and meditation and quiet time are two ways so far that you can start to tune your intuition and start to tune your gut to become an actual reliable source of decision making. The next one is reading. Reading is kind of like journaling, but instead of your own thoughts, it's other people's thoughts. And you start to use those thoughts from other people and expose yourself to them to see how you feel. Do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that? They give you a point of view and a perspective. So those are the three ways that you can start to tune your gut to become more accurate and better at helping you make decisions, not in lieu of data, but using both data and intuition to make better decisions as a whole. I hope this helps you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.